Harry was thrown in the trash. Tragedy divorce with Meghan when the juggling prince is too stupid. Hello and a very warm welcome to our Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. I'm sure you all did not forget Paul McCartney and Heather Mills. So in the beginning, they seemed like a wonderful couple. They seemed like they were deeply in love and they just looked so radiant together. He was a British national treasure and she was a philanthropist. Together, we assumed they would be unstoppable. Well, except there was a little problem because she was insane and she was an opportunist of the highest order. Of course, they divorced, and she put Paul and his family through a really rough time. She informed the court, among other things, that at night, when she needed to use the toilet, he would take her prosthetic leg from her and force her to crawl to the bathroom. Some things in life are certain: taxes, death, and the fact that not a single British person would ever believe that Paul would be capable of such a horrible act. Now, if you're gonna make up a story, you could at least make up one that's a little more believable. And I think Harry and Meghan's divorce is going to play out in pretty much the same way. But thanks to Harry's own idiocy in writing that book, Meghan is going to have so much more ammunition than Heather Mills ever did. There are going to be so many lies that are going to make us feel disgusted. And then when Harry manages to say, "But you told me to write that," Meghan is just going to say, "Oh, yes, there you go again. You always have to blame other people." And then naturally, she will fall into a sobbing heap on the floor. And through sobs, Meghan will claim, "I just can't do this anymore." And she'll say that their marriage needs to end for the sake of her mental health. And I'm sure she will still be on the floor sobbing. Now, I understand Meghan Markle, but I do not understand Harry's reaction. I don't understand how he is choosing to do everything in his power to remain in the limelight and make money off the private life of his fellow family members. It's like he decided, well, I just can't beat the vultures making money off of my family, so maybe I should just be a vulture too. And if Harry decides to go after Catherine, that's going to be pushing his luck a bit too far. I mean, in the UK, Harry's reputation has already hit rock bottom. So now he and Meghan are focusing on the US because that is their target market for the two of them to make money. Now, judging by Harry's book and the excerpts from his interviews, Catherine does seem to be a target. Harry had to tell that dumb story that Catherine was upset that Meghan did not reply to her message, and so they talked things out, and Harry discovered Meghan crying on the bathroom floor afterward. So we've got this Catherine making Meghan cry at the dress fitting story, we've got the story of Catherine being cold and distant when Meghan hugged her, and also we heard the story about William beating up Harry. So I guess Harry just wanted to provide us with more than enough examples of times when Catherine made Meghan cry. Harry's trying to convince us that Catherine is just this wicked witch, but it's not very believable. I mean, first thing, she's gorgeous, and I'm sorry, it is superficial, but still, it's important. She's an outsider, she was not born into royalty, and she's a mother, and she also just exudes optimism and friendliness. So you know what, Harry, we're not believing your stories. And I'm an American, so I am speaking here from an American viewpoint, that attacking Catherine is going to take things one step too far, and those two idiots are going to lose so much public support if they decide to do that. I don't really think they're dumb enough to do that, but a part of me hopes they are, because then they'll be finished for good. At any rate, outside of a hardcore of intersectional critical theory types, most people in America have a very short attention span, and it's becoming obvious the two of them have nothing to offer other than complaining. Their little woe is me act was not very believable to begin with, and now it's just getting boring and repetitive too. Claiming victimhood does not go very far when you are born into such amazing privilege. Now, in the case of Paul McCartney, at least he remained dignified and silent the whole time, so when things really got crazy, there was no doubt as to who people wanted to believe. Heather Mills didn't have any choice, really. She had to slither away into obscurity with her millions of dollars, of course. But Harry, he's not going to have it so easy. Harry has told too many lies, gone after too many people. All of that stuff is going to blow up in his face as he tries to find his way out of this mess. And you know what? He deserves all of it. And Paul McCartney and Harry are not in the same league. I mean, McCartney is not only a British national treasure, but he's really a treasure for everyone. I never personally invested in what celebrities do, but in this case, I'm going to be sad when this amazing man passes away. Because in my opinion, more than any artist that lived in the 20th century, Paul McCartney has such a rare combination of genius, and he's also so kind. By contrast, though, Lennon and Picasso were absolutely cruel to their spouses, and Elvis and Michael Jackson were pretty decent, but personally they were complete train wrecks. Now, Meghan Markle does share some similarities to Heather Mills in the fact that she's an opportunist and she's also an insane person. But Harry is not even close to being in the same league as Paul McCartney. In fact, we could say that Harry shows the exact opposite traits as McCartney. As far as we can tell, Harry doesn't have any real talent, he's so entitled, and worst of all, he's resentful and spiteful to his own family, his own friends, and his own country. I mean, even Harry's great-granduncle, the late Edward VIII, entitled and arrogant as he was, at least knew it was best to just go away quietly and shut his mouth after he abdicated the throne. But Harry really is a nasty piece of work, isn't he? And even though we might like to think otherwise, Meghan has not really changed Harry. He was like this the whole time. Meghan did lower his inhibitions, though, enough to reveal to the entire world who he really was deep inside this whole time. Because it's not like Harry's bad behavior was just a one-time indiscretion. It's not even a series of indiscretions. This is a pattern of behavior that we're seeing from Harry, and it's an attack on his own family and country, which is as intentional as it is spiteful. And you can't go about doing that relentlessly for no less than a few years unless there has been so much resentment and hatred building up under the surface this whole time. I do feel sorry for King Charles, for him to be cursed with a child like Harry. It's a lot like the fact that the late Queen was cursed with an offspring like Prince Andrew. I mean, to have to live through such stress in one's old age, I can't imagine. I mean, having children is a great thing, but when your children turn out to be immoral and horrible people, yeah, at that point it doesn't feel like such a great thing anymore. Charles is still Harry's father after all, so he might forgive him, because that is what he would do instinctively. But I do hope that William, as the future king, never forgives Harry. I mean, his stunning betrayal and bringing such pain and dishonor to pretty much every member of the family is unforgivable. And it's not like this was unintentional. He did it on purpose, maliciously, and in such a protracted fashion as well. Honestly, folks, sometimes I think the best thing to do would be to put them in the tower. I hear there is still room in the tower for the two of them until they've had a chance to reevaluate their behavior. It really is almost like some foreign power has paid Meghan to seduce Harry and destroy him. Or maybe it's just because Harry's angry at his slim chance of ever being king, tossed over the rail by William and Catherine's children, of course. So you know what? Maybe the tower would be the best place for the two of them to be for at least a little while. And you, what do you think about the Sussexes' marriage? Please let me know what you think below in the comments section, and we can also discuss your thoughts and feelings. If you think my video is useful, please don't forget to like and share it with your friends and relatives who would love it anytime you want. And please subscribe to Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel to get more videos in the future. Now, thank you so much for watching, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you all tonight.